Hey, English 302 class, for my final video post for Breaking Open the Head, I wanted to go ahead and summarize it because we have to do that, right? So, upon first, picking this book up and reading the first 2 pages, I was like, this book is going to be not my cup of tea. But as I read it, I actually found that it was a real page turner, and it was really interesting. I thought because I was so unfamiliar with a lot of the psychedelic drugs that the author mentioned in the beginning, that I was going to be totally just so far from the book that I had no relation to it. I wouldn't be able to relate to it. I wouldn't be able to understand what he was talking about. But it was actually the opposite. He really gave a detailed experience into all of his, or a lot of his, his trips and his, his experimentation with psychedelics. And so I thought that was really neat of him to really open himself up and write a book like this. And then also, like I said, it was a page turner. It was interesting for me to read about the different effects and that the psychedelics had on him. And I think it's really cool how he just utilized those drugs. Actually, he utilized the drugs to find out more about himself. And I thought that was really cool because a lot of people abuse drugs. And as soon as we think of drugs, we often, we're like, this person is a complete wasteoid. They're just going to waste my time, their time, and, they're wasting their life. And, we have all of these preconceived notions when it comes to drugs. And so I really, this gave me a different view. And so, it's really important not to judge a book by its cover. Another thing I wanted to do was explore a little bit about Daniel Pinchbeck, the author, because reading this made me wonder why he would write this. So yeah, and I wondered, why our professor would have us to read a book written by this guy. So I found out that he's been writing for a while, and he also has another book called The Return of Quetzalcoatl, which I kind of want to read now. And so there's also this site called Reality Sandwich that he is he's a co-author of, and so that's cool. And it's actually pretty neat. It talks about psychedelics and science and all these different cool things. Hold on, here it is. Actually want to show you guys. If you can see, it's just a couple of things there on his site. Yeah, I would actually bookmark this and check it out, and then also read his other book. And then there's also essays and stuff like that too. But yeah, I'm interested in reading the other book that he's written because of for personal reasons. Anyways, and then I also wanted to relate. I want to use this last minute to relate to this book. I mentioned before in one of my videos that I don't have much experience with psychedelics, but I did try mushrooms once a long time ago. And, I was like Daniel, just waiting to hallucinate and trip out completely. And I did not. And I was always, even at the dental office, when they're like, oh, this is going to put you to sleep, or this is gonna, laughing gas, and you're gonna be in an altered state of consciousness, state of mind. I was always ooh, excited about that. And even I tried to be hypnotized once at a fair, and it was totally fake. And the lady was like, well, just listen to what I'm saying and kind of do it, even if you don't feel it. And it was so fake. And I was just so disappointed with that. And so, yeah, but I'm also a really scaredy cat and don't like to try new things. So, it's whatever. Anyways, this book is great, and it just got me an inside view on a world that I didn't know much about, so it's awesome.